Welcome to BeerDisciples. I am Ross Quintana.
I'm Rob Hubbard.
Rob Hubbard, what up? Rob Hubbard's back in the cupboard. That's right. And you guys have probably missed us. And you know what? Gosh darn it, we've missed you too. Come here.
I'm not hugging these people.
I'm not hugging these people. Good old Rob Hubbard warming up to the crowd.
That's right.
We're back here with the beer today. Rob Hubbard looking like the cold man on the street with the beer in the plastic or in the paper bag. He's pulling out a fine beer. Exactly. If you open a beer in a bag instead of taking it out and opening it, then it's not a good beer, I have to tell you. So we have to bring it out. But what do we got today? A beer I've been looking forward to reviewing for a while. It's Fireside Chat. Bam! From 21st Amendment. That's right. And as you can see, we're on our new set somewhat. I don't have it all set up yet. This may not be the table that we're going to use or any of that kind of stuff, but it is in a quieter location without all of the kids in our new move running up and down screaming and crying. So I know for many of you that will be a sad thing because you really enjoyed hearing the kids interrupt our show.
I know I did.
Over the time, yes, exactly. But what we have here is Fireside Chat. It's a ale brewed with spices. Oh, it says ale with spices added. It's a winter spiced ale, and this is an English style ale, and it's got it's coming in at 7.9 ABV, 45 IBUs, and it's got stuff in it. That's right. It's got.
What was the category they said it was? The vegetable beer category?
Yeah. Sometimes when they don't know where to put a beer, they put. I don't know why it ended up in that, but it's in the spice, herb, vegetable category on RateBeer. And the funny thing about that is RateBeer kicked it in the balls because gave it a 47 overall and a 50 for the style. And like even if people don't like this beer, when I see 50 for the style, and then you see that the style is spiced herb vegetable, I'm like, how many good beers could be in the vegetable beer category? And this one sucks. It's like, it's almost if you're in the category, you're at least doing okay because there's no competition. But we'll see. You know, BeerAdvocate gives this a C+, and let's crack this baby open and see how she looks. Last year, this was one of the ones that got away, right? For me, I got to try a bunch of 21st Amendment beers, and this was the one that I couldn't get, and then they didn't have it when it was supposed to be available. So I actually, and I like winter ale, so I was like, that was a bummer for me, and so now I get to try it. So let us crack in the crack. Here we go. Let's check this pour out. All right. We're getting some decent cascading, kind of going fast, so I see a lot of carbonation in here. Color on that's kind of a light mahogany, you know, transparent. It's not super deep and complex, but you're getting some amber notes on that and stuff. Pretty decent size head there. Pour your beer out of the bag, if you will. Yeah, you got pretty good pour going on there. Decent little action. You can see how much carbonation you're going to get. So
what do you look for in a pour, really, though? Because, I mean, it went kind of fast. So you're looking for, like, the long
fast. Well, to
bubble
me,
rising.
Here's my theory. I don't know if it's scientific or not, but to me, when you see a beer go fast like that, it makes me worry about the body. Like, if it's a thick malt body, it should slow that carbonation down. So between the carbonation and the malt thickness, it kind of gives me an idea of how much ingredients might be in the beer also. And when you look at the ABVs, you can kind of get an idea of what the ingredients are. Normally for a higher ABV, you're going to have more ingredients in the original. I don't know if it's, I don't know if I got my terminology right, but in the original that they put it in.
Like the mash?
I don't know what the category is because I haven't got into the brewing side of it yet, but hopefully this year, going to get into some grain brewing, and then I won't be a dummy and I have my own little beers to talk about. Anyway, so yeah, so a 7.9 ABV on this is actually kind of high for this beer, for what I'm thinking of. So let's get a smell on this. Sweet yeasty fermentation, like bread gone not right.
Yeah.
What? No, just kidding. Come on. No,
Well,
it
I'm
does
kind of
have a bready note to it.
It does, yeah. I'm kind of a baker, so I like this smell.
It's good. I'm getting you're definitely getting that malt mix going in there. Not too much. Little bit on the Magnum hops. I think you can come through, and we like the Magnum hops when we tried them.
I can't tell.
And there's little notes.
Smell like,
there's little cocoa notes too. It is made with spices and cocoa nibs, so I'm getting those little bit of cocoa notes on the back end. They're just
few little niblets.
Yeah, a couple niblets. Well, I'm gonna say on smell though, not a bad smelling beer. I'd give it about a 3.5, 4, 3.5.
Okay.
So let's hit the taste. Yeah, I mean, come on, RateBeer. Pull your head out of your ass. This is not...
Nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
It's not offensive at all.
It's not mind-blowing, but at a 47, like I've seen beers that were in the 70s and 80s that I'm like, would practically spit against the wall. And this isn't bad. What you're getting here, you got Magnum hops and Golden hops as far as what's in the glass. Your malts, you have just a huge variety of malts here. You got a pale, Munich, wheat, crystal, debittered black malt, chocolate, and aromatic.
You're getting some fruity notes.
So you're getting a lot of. It's almost like we used to call swamp water when you went to the soda machine and you put some of every one in there. That's kind of it's like swamp water malt, but I think that's good. Go ahead, give me a big malty beer. I just posted that the other day. This is the season. I want a big, nice malty beer, and I feel like the hops come through pretty good on that. They're just enough.
Mm-hmm.
And the cocoa nibs and the spices. I could take a little more cocoa nibs on this. I think it'd add a little bit more value.
I'm not sure. Once I figure out what a nib is,
yeah,
then I'll decide if I want more nibs or not.
I think it's like a nipple, like the nipples of. They have. I don't know how many nipples a cocoa bean has, but at least 2 is my guess. So yeah. So on taste, I'm gonna go with this. Not bad. I'm gonna give it a 4 actually. Not too bad. I mean, it could be. It's a 3.5, 4. It's right there between like average and maybe a little above average.
Carbonation's good. Definitely drinkable.
That's pretty pleasing, really. Actually.
Yeah. Would you call it like kind of a session beer? Not really.
It's just a little. It reminds me of like a brown ale a little bit about as far as the size of it. Maybe a little bit more with the black malt. So it's really getting into like how some people's porters, like I consider them to be too weak. It's almost like this. This is like a weak porter kind of. But it reminds me a little more of a brown ale or a Belgian dark. It's pretty good. It's definitely drinkable. As far as being a session beer, with the ABVs at 7.9, it wouldn't probably be considered to be on the upper end of a session beer.
Okay,
but as far as its drinkability is probably a 4.5 at least on this, maybe a 5.
Yeah. A
very drinkable beer. For me overall, I think I could safely say I'd give this about an 83 overall. And for the style, if I'm not sure on the spice, herb, vegetable. That's not really my category, but I don't think it's categorized right. For the style, I'm going to probably go with about an 80, 83. This is about an 83 beer. It's like not bad actually, and I would probably go with a B, maybe a B minus on this.
Okay, I'd say for me it's in the upper half of beers I've had so far.
Yeah.
Which isn't a whole lot,
it's respectable.
But still, it's not bad. I'm a fan of wheat beers. And I really liked Oktoberfest from Sam Adams. So
yeah, this is like a little darker Oktoberfest kind of.
It's lacking a bit.
It's not malty enough.
Yeah.
Like when you start to get to the darker malts, you're not getting the sweet body. Like actually, if they would have taken out,
it's just a little syrupy.
If they would have actually added the caramel malt to this, some caramel malt would have made this a better beer.
I think so.
And to me, I don't know. I would have gone at a caramel malt and maybe thrown in a different kind of hop, maybe instead of the Golding. I like the Magnum, but give me the Magnum and a Cascade on this, or the Magnum and a Simcoe if you really, you want to set those spices off.
A Simcoe.
Give me the Magnum Simcoe on this with the caramel malt. Take out the Munich malt and drop in the caramel, you got a great beer there. Pay attention, 21st. And they're probably going, that guy don't know shit. he just said he hadn't been brewing yet. Yeah, but I can taste what I like, and I know what I want.
Well,
that's why I'm going to be brewing.
Apparently RateBeer thinks it's not that great, so...
I disagree. This is a good beer from them. It's what you expect. You know, you don't expect it's going to, you know, blow your socks off, but you expect 21st Amendment's going to put out a pretty good beer, and that's what they did. I'm going to give this an overall, as far as a letter rating, I'm going to go solid B. Solid B worked for me, and, you know, I would say, yeah, pick it up if you want just something that's kind of dark. You know, it's not sweet enough for me. I just...
You know what else? I don't taste much of the can. I've noticed that before. I'm not really tasting the can, so...
That's one of the things I noticed about this one, too, because a couple of there's like Monk's Blood. I love the beer, but you get that metallic flavor. Yeah. It's like if you got rid of that at the aftertaste, I would gulp. All right, so final thoughts on this beer. I think it's very respectable from them. You brought up a good point there in between takes about the it not having the metallic taste that some of the 21st Amendment beers do, and I don't know for sure that it's the can or if it's also the recipe or if some beers are more susceptible to that kind of thing. But my final thoughts on this is, yeah, I'm going to give it an 83 overall, 82 for the style, and I'm going to give it a solid B. And this is a drinkable beer. It's a kickback beer. I would prefer, like I said, you know, you take out the Munich malt and throw in a caramel malt, and then you add a Simcoe hop to really bring that complexity. Because right now, to me, it's like a good malt base. It lacks a little bit of sweetness, and I don't get the spice. You know, it's almost like it's almost muddied, the malt, because there's so many different malts that I'm not getting the spice coming through strong enough.
I'm not sure I taste any vegetables.
Yeah, I don't get the rutabagas on these. I don't know exactly.
So much for being a vegetable beer.
Yeah, this sucks as a vegetable beer. Anyway, so you can check us out online. Talk to us. BeerDisciples@gmail.com. You can click the subscribe button wherever it is. Bam. All right, because we're back in the saddle again, and you can expect some beer reviews. Sorry we were gone for a minute, having a crisis in my life and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, was it a beer crisis? No, it wasn't. But it kind of was for you guys. Darn it.
It's okay. We're back.
I'm going to be okay. Anyway, check us out, Facebook.com/BeerDisciples. And you know what? Cheers. We're going to do another beer.